Do I feel bad for all the sports podcasts who we have dominated and sent into extinction? Sometimes.
Mom, Jason is going to prison for 25 years. I promise you that.
Damn. Jason Tatum's a corny individual. Fine. I want to take you through the bookshelf. Just already play the music.
Man, Zuri thinks that Jason and I are total fucking idiots.
There I go. Turn the page.
Go ahead. Intimidate me. Bully me if that makes you feel big. Jason.
Yes.
I have horrible news. Truly terrible news.
Okay, I can't wait.
Shattering news.
Can't wait to hear what it is. Are you okay?
I am not.
Okay.
The baby, my youngest son, 12 years old, just turned 12 years old 2 weeks ago, has learned about your mom jokes.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought you meant my mom, actually, like my actual mom.
Oh, he learned about your mom. All right, so that's perfect because that tiny amount of terror that jumped into your heart,
it did,
when you thought he learned about your mom, is what is living inside of me 24 hours a day now, because he has just gone crazy with your mom jokes. What he does, he doesn't do like, your mom is so dumb, she whatever. He doesn't do that.
Right.
What he does is he waits for somebody to say something in a sentence about anything, and then he says, your mom, blah, 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 blah. Like, for example, we were out to eat at Luby's. We were enjoying a lovely Sunday afternoon lunch. It was me, it was him, it was his twin brothers. Laramie was out of town with her friends doing a thing. So anytime she leaves, I'm like, come on, it's just the boys hanging out. We're going to go. So we're just enjoying lunch, sitting there eating our Luby's. And I was talking to one of the twins about the stock market. And the conversation became like, when is this open? Like, at what time is this open? And I was like, I think it's from like 9 to 4. Or something like that. Right, son? It's 9 to 4, because I was talking to his other brother about it. And then this little tiny voice on the other end of the table just goes, your mom's open from 9 to 4. What the hell? Yeah. Every single thing he says. We were talking about the price of a cup of soup. It was $3.99.
Yeah.
Oh, on the other side of the room, I just hear, your mom's $3.99. Every single thing. I was holding the dog. He like has a skin disease that makes him smell weird. Yeah. I was like, oh, he smells a little bit weird today. Your mom smells a little bit weird today. He just won't stop. I don't know what to do. It's horrible. I'm being terrorized.
So I think the stock market is, obviously there's stock markets open all over the world at different times. But yes, the American stock market, I believe, is open from 9 to 4. Just like your mom, who's getting NASDAQ'd.
Boo him, Zuri. I'm opening up to you. And you're telling...
What?
What do you mean, what? You just said NASDAQ'd.
So bad.
It's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's driving me crazy. He won't stop. He started it because that's a joke that Laramie does all of the time. She thinks it's hilarious. So she does it to me just... twice a day, it seems like. And now he's doing it, and it's terrible. And I can't do it back to him because now that's my wife that I would be saying
that's
it
true.
to. I'm in a no-win situation.
It's a no-win situation. Just like when the stock market opens, when they open your mom, they ring a bell.
All right, enough of this. Let's start. Thank you. Thank you, Zuri. Let's start the stupid show. We're going to start the show. Jason from Wondery.
Yes.
I'm Shea Serrano, whatever.
And I'm Jason Concepcion.
This is 6 trophies.
Hello! I'm Jason Concepcion, and welcome to 6 Trophies, a podcast series hosted by myself and Shea Serrano, in which we comb through all the NBA news from the past week and hand out 6 pop culture themed trophies for 6 basketball related activities. In this episode, the Cavs. Who can stop them?
God.
They must be stopped. De'Aaron Fox is unguardable. And Inside the NBA is back. It's a win-win for everybody. All that and more. Let's hand out some trophies. Your mom blows as hard as that.
I should have never said anything. What a disaster this has already become. 4 minutes in. We do 2 sets of trophies, the big trophies and the little trophies. It works for everything. Your mom's a big trophy. What? The big trophies are first. All right. Shut up.
All right.
We do 2 sets of trophies, the big trophies and the little trophies. The big trophies are first. These ones are the same every week. Yeah. Your mom's the same every week. First up, the Denzel Washington and Training Day Trophy, given out to whoever it is who had the best overall performance of the week. Your mom had the best overall performance of the week. What? This week's winner, Kenny Atkinson.
Hey,
head
baby.
Coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Look at this guy.
We were arguing about we gotta find a new winner for the Denzel Washington and Training Day Trophy because the Cavs keep on winning it. But by default, nobody can beat them. They have to win it by default. Kenny Atkinson, genius coach, Jason? Question mark?
I mean, listen, he's improved teams everywhere he has gone. He was the coach of the then surprising Brooklyn Nets, who were scrapping it out, and then he was scrapped himself because KD and the rest wanted their puppet Steve Nash to be the head coach there. And look at him now! Look at him now! 15-game winning streak. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they're rolling over, and they're killing everybody. They're just absolutely destroying teams. They put up like 49 points in a quarter against Golden State. They're just like unbelievable right now. And we're taping this on Tuesday morning. Tonight is the real test and perhaps the marquee test of this early NBA season thus far. The unbeaten Cleveland Cavaliers will play the Boston Celtics tonight. And now we will see. But I'll tell you this, teams that have gone on double digit, like 15 plus game winning streaks, 16 plus game winning streaks. Those historically are championship contending teams. So the Cavaliers, look out. This is a legit squad.
You got to mention them. You got to mention them in the conversation now. As you mentioned, we are experiencing the interstellar conundrum again.
Yeah.
Zuri, will you play the interstellar music, please? We need to go into the bookshelf, Jason. For everybody else, it's already happened. For us, it hasn't happened yet, but we need to decide right now. Jason, what happened in the game last night that hasn't happened for us yet, but has happened for the listeners? Who won the game last night, Jason? Cavs or Celtics? By how many points? What happened?
Cleveland Cavaliers beat.
Are they still?
They beat them. They're undefeated.
They're 16-0.
They've won 16 straight games, and they win.
Oh my God!
On a Darius Garland game winner at the buzzer.
Shoot it, Darius.
That's my prediction. That's correct.
All right. Well, then that sounds good to me. Congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers, 16-0 for the first time ever.
What do you think happens? Wait, I want to take you. I want to take you through the bookshelf. Just already play the music.
Last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics played, and the Boston Celtics, showing their championship medal, got blown out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They lost by 19. I'm in on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I was saying before, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I'm a believer now because I just watched them beat the Boston Celtics.
Well, I am still not a believer, but the numbers don't lie about, the numbers do not lie about teams that go on streaks like this. Here is some similar streaks, 19 games. The 14-15 Atlanta Hawks, the San Antonio Spurs 13-14, they won the title. The Boston Celtics 08-09, the Los Angeles Lakers 99-2000, they won the title. 20 games, Milwaukee Bucks 70-71, Washington Capitals. Who the fuck are the Washington Capitals?
Who?
Who the fuck?
Who is that?
The hockey Capitals? I guess the Washington Bullets were called the Capitals in 1947, 48, and 48, 49. 22
That's
games,
too far
Houston
back.
Rockets, 07, 08. 24 game
was
Golden
fun.
State Warriors, 15, 16. Obviously, we're an elite squad. 27 games Miami Heat, 12, 13. They won the title. 28 games Golden State. So obviously, now we're getting up into the upper echelons, but we're into the realm now. 15 plus games where you have to take them seriously. You really do. I know it's November, but you just have to.
Yeah. What fun it must be to be Kenny Atkinson right now. Just like, when has your stock ever been higher? You know what I mean? You're pushing all the right buttons. You're pulling all the right levers.
Do you think
Kenny Atkinson?
Do you think he texts like KD and Kyrie like, haha, look at you now.
Look
at what I'm doing.
Every other, yeah.
You wanted that guy Steve Nash. Now look at this shit I'm doing.
Imagine what I could have done with y'all.
None of these
That's what
guys
he's
are going
telling
into
him.
the Hall of Fame. I love.
Wait, Donovan's not
Mitchell
going?
might go, but would you say that he's a lock right now to go to the Hall of Fame?
I like him, so yes. So
Okay.
yes, I like him.
Let's
I
call
like
him at best like a bubble guy for the Hall of Fame.
He's a bubble guy. Mm-hmm.
That said, the Nets with multiple Hall of Famers, should they have just run with Kenny Atkinson? Yes, they should have. If I was Kenny Atkinson, all day, all night, I would be texting former Nets officials and KD and Kyrie and just being like, you fucking idiots, you dummies, you morons. You're so
When
dumb.
is his
Look at
contract
me.
up?
Never.
I hope it's up on Wednesday so he can renegotiate. That's what I think needs to happen. That's so much fun. Head coach Kenny Atkinson. Let's do their coaching staff right now. Head coach Kenny Atkinson.
Okay.
Associate head coach Johnny Bryant. Assistant
former
coaches
Knicks guy.
Jordan Knott, Mike Garrity, Damari Carroll, which I love. I love that. Trevor Hendry, Omar Cook, Brian Tabaldi, and Nate Reinking. Like who? Who's on this? And they're building it, Jason. They're building it.
Kenny Atkinson is a legit guy. Not to mention, Kenny Atkinson has also been shown throughout his career to be a really good development guy too, making players better at things that they do. And shouts to Kenny. I'm just really happy for him. Really, really happy for him that he got this opportunity. Because imagine getting fired for like Steve Nash, who loves Steve Nash as a player, but who really was just kind of like a cutout so that the net stars could do like stuff they wanted to do, you know, and not have to be bothered with getting yelled at by their coach. And now here's Kenny Atkinson.
Your mama's a cutout.
Okay.
Next trophy. The Lord, hell, you might win some, but you just lost one trophy. Give it out to whoever it is who had the worst overall performance of the week. This week's winner, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh.
It's looking real bad in Philly right now.
It's getting late early. 2-11 right now, the 76ers after a loss to the Heat, in which the Heat, Jimmy Butler had a season high 30 points against the squad. Apparently there's been there was a players only meeting in Philadelphia in which Tyrese Maxey challenged Joel Embiid for being late, called him out. Here's the quote of the story. Quote, Tyrese loves big fella, but this is the elephant in the room, a person involved in the meeting told ESPN. Maxey apparently challenged Embiid to be on time to team activities, calling out the 2022-23 league MVP about being late, quote, for everything, and how it impacts the locker room from other players to the coaching staff.
That's tough.
I'm sorry. Joel, come on. You're not playing
Get there on time.
that much. Show up. You better be there you better be there before everybody else. Just be there.
I hate late.
I hate late.
Late is like, I hate late. I felt so bad that one day when I texted group chat and I was like, hey, it turns out I'm going to be 5 minutes late because I didn't plan my thing correctly. But then I was there I was 55 minutes early because I had my time zone wrong. So even when I'm late, I'm early. Jason, I hate
late too.
I do not like
I used to be in a band with a guy who was always late. And it was to the level of, I think I heard your mom fall down. It was to the level of, we had to tell him like stuff was an hour early. And you just become so infuriated with that. It's like disrespectful. Come on, be on time. I think most concerning is Embiid looks like Orlando Magic Pat Ewing right now.
Oh my God.
Like,
oh my God.
It's now, maybe he'll get better, but it doesn't look good. And really, when you're saying, well, our bright spot is Jared McCain, who is really good, actually, and gave the Knicks a lot of trouble.
Playing great.
He's playing really great, really physical, gets to the basket, like him a lot. That said, this is concerning, and it's not like at 2-11, you're now thinking, where are we going to end up playoff positioning wise? Like, you kind of have to be thinking about that now pretty early. And
in November,
it's going to be a scrabble just to get to 500. I guess the other upside is, hey, now you're in the Cooper flag race if this continues. But this is a team that needs to be good right now, and I think they're staring down the possible barrel of Joel Embiid being more worn down than it appered.
Yeah,
that's very concerning.
It's 0% fun.
No.
Right now, watching them be like, what is going on? Now I know that they've of course been dealing with injuries. Tyrese Maxey just missed his 6th consecutive game. Who knows when he's coming back? But they had to deal with that. Paul George is Paul George. Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. But those guys are still. You see their names on the sheet, and you're like, well, this should be a good team. We were just talking before about all the Sixers have to do is just get Embiid back, and they're going to be fine. And in the 3 games that he's had since he's been back, 2 of 11 against the Knicks, 5 of 15 against the Magic, 5 of 11 against the Heat. He looks like he's walking around on uncooked spaghetti for legs, and it's not awesome.
Yeah.
It's not awesome.
He's taken 13 threes over those 3 games too, and it's like, I think the most concerning thing, and it is early, he's looked really immobile. Like, when I say Orlando Magic Pat Ewing, I'm obviously being very, very mean. That said, that's right. That said, what I mean by that is he's a big body out there that doesn't seem to have any pep at all. He just kind of is floating around. The rebound numbers are very low as well. 2 blocks over 3 games total. He just doesn't, and he has talked about also that pushing off of his weaker leg is something that he's going to have to get used to. He doesn't trust it. And he's also said, in that same interview that he still thinks he can be pretty effective without pushing off that leg. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think that's the case. If he can't, I'm not even talking about explode, but load up off that leg, then he's a one-legged player, and a one-legged Joel Embiid is not good enough. They need him to be MVP level Joel Embiid for any of this to work, and it's currently not working, and it's unclear that what level he's going to reach when he does ramp all the way up.
Your mom is a one-legged player. Before we move on, because we're talking about moms and we're talking about Philadelphia. Right. What a crazy coincidence right now. My parents are both retired, and so what they do is they just get in the car and just drive. They just leave San Antonio for they'll be gone for 4 months. And every so often they'll just send a picture of here we are. And literally yesterday, my mom sent me this picture. I'm gonna put up to the camera. Look, that's my parents right now in Philadelphia. Why are they in Philadelphia in front of the Rocky statue? They're just hey, we're in Philly right now. Okay, we don't know anybody in Philadelphia. They just went to Philadelphia just to go because they wanted to go.
I thought they were there for the court case.
What court case?
Well, there's an open dispute right now about whether it was your mom or Philadelphia that invented cream cheese.
Boo, Zuri, what's taking so long with a boo? Boo him, Zuri.
I needed to contemplate what he was saying. I didn't know what he was saying.
I don't understand what that means, but I know it's not good. I know it's not good to say your mom invented cream cheese. What is It's too late, Zuri. It's too late. You're supposed to defend my mother's honor, Zuri, and you're letting this hooligan just say horrible things.
What
Next
do you mean?
trophy.
That's fine. Did she invented cream cheese? What's bad about that?
There's something bad about that.
What's bad
Don't
about
do
it?
that.
Okay.
There's something bad
All right,
about that.
I think that's like actually really cool of her to do.
Yeah,
To
all
invent
right.
a soft
Okay.
cheese like that that's cream colored. What?
Zuri, play
All right.
gunshot noises.
Okay.
Strong gunshot noises, Zuri.
Strong. Not a 22,
Strong.
a big caliber.
Not
Yeah.
a big. Give me the gun from Rambo where he shot that guy in half. That's the gun that I want right now. That's firecrackers.
Oh my God, there's mortars in there though. All right.
Horrible. Next trophy, the Dominic Toretto I Live My Life a Quarter Mile at a Time trophy. Give it out to whoever it is who made a short-term decision with no regard for future consequence. This week's winner, anyone trying to guard De'Aaron Fox right now. Can't guard him. What a bad idea. Don't try it.
So many moves. Now, I know that there are Hawks fans out there because the Hawks are a disgruntled group and their fan base feels that they're ignored. They're going to say, well, De'Aaron Fox tried to win the game at the buzzer and then Dyson Daniels stole the ball from him and the Hawks beat the Kings. Fine. That's right. But De'Aaron Fox scored 109 points over a 2-game span last week.
2 games.
2 games. He had 109. He had 28 in that loss versus the Hawks. He's balling.
He's playing very, very well. And I can't imagine anybody's excited about standing across from him right now. Nobody. Just like, what do I do? He could go everywhere on the court. He could shoot from everywhere on the court. What do I do? How do I stop this?
He's got so many moves and counter moves, and like you defend him well through the initial move and then the counter, and then he spins back on you, and he's just so slippery. It's SGA like, only it feels more SGA kind of glides across the court, and it looks like an effortless kind of thing. De'Aaron Fox is like. He's like a nightmare. It's like he just never stops ripping through defenses. And he has been very, very impressive. He's been carrying them through multiple injuries to Sabonis, to DeRozan, Malik Monk, et cetera. And he's been just balling.
I love this comparison of SGA glides. He has a glide to him where it's like he's like an air hockey puck just moving around. And De'Aaron Fox is like a spark, or like, remember in the X-Men movies, Nightcrawler, when he'd be like poof poof and just moving around like that. Like that's what it feels like with De'Aaron. There's something menacing about it. And the counter move thing, what's really interesting about watching him is he's doing a thing now where he knows the first thing isn't gonna be the move. Right. So he does the first thing to get in position for the second thing, to get in position for the third thing, which is where you can't keep up anymore. He's too many moves ahead. He's doing the thing that boxers do when they like throw a soft jab out there. Yeah. But all that they want to do with that soft jab is just move your glove a little bit out of the way so that the cross can hit you in the chin better. You know what I mean? Like he's doing that kind of stuff on a basketball court, and it's really fun to watch.
It's wonderful. In November, he's averaging basically 32. We'll round up 32 points a game on 52.
My goodness.
52% field goals.
De'Aaron.
And 82% from the line with 2 steals. He's also like a solid defender, which I don't think is a thing that maybe people associate with him. But that's a fun group. And I like Sabonis as well. The Kings are fun. And man, De'Aaron Fox.
They're not great, but they're fun.
They're fun. Fox is a nightmare right now. Let me ask you this, Sabonis. You watched Starting Five on Netflix?
I sure did.
I found myself being like, you know what, the Sabonis guy, I like him.
I like him.
He's like the biggest nerd of the five,
right?
But in a really fun way. Like he's the type of guy who's like, hey, he's not heard of like, hey, do you want to watch The Sopranos? What's The Sopranos? I only have, I've been raised like in a basketball court by a basketball legend. I don't know anything except like basketball stuff. But it would just seem like a really wonderful guy.
Yeah, he does seem really sweet. Part of the reason I like watching those sorts of shows, it doesn't matter what the sport is or what the thing is about. Like you just find yourself attached to whoever the star is, even if it's like a terrible person. Where you're like, this person is clearly doesn't seem like that much fun to hang out with. You still kind of find yourself rooting for them. All five of the guys from Starting Five were like that. Watching when Netflix did the quarterback show. And I was like, oh my God, I like all of these quarterbacks now. This is, receiver. Any of the tennis one was like that guy Taylor. It's like, who's this Taylor guy? I love this guy Taylor. I never heard of him before. The golf one.
Taylor Fitz?
All of them.
Okay, yeah.
Any of this stuff, I love watching this. Sprint.
Sprint.
Oh man,
Sprint was actually really fun. I watched that ahead of the Olympics. They should do one for us called like Podcaster.
Yeah, Caster.
Podder?
Yeah. No, I like Caster. And it's like a dual show. It's us and then like professional fishermen. And we're just different. We're like... That was a terrible joke. Next trophy. The Daniel Plainview, I've abandoned my child, I've abandoned my boy trophy, which is given out to somebody who's given up on something. This week's winner, ESPN's current basketball personalities.
You're done now because the big dog's coming.
Jason, what is going on here? Explain this to everybody.
Well, as we all know, because we've been keeping up with NBA news through the greatest podcast, greatest sports podcast, greatest pop culture podcast there is, the Six Trophies podcast. You know that WD Discovery was suing the NBA over the fallout from the NBA's move to new broadcast partners and away from WB Discovery, which is the home corporation of the TNT inside the NBA basketball program. Well, there's been a settlement in said case, and it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for WB. It's a win for the NBA. It's a win for the NBA's fans. But it's potentially a lose for someone. And the deal is this. Inside the NBA and all its bevy of wonderful personalities, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, etc., Ernie Johnson, will be licensed to Warner Brothers Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
It will air on it will to Disney. It will air on ESPN. The TNT crew will come now to ESPN. And so one must wonder what this means for ESPN's basketball studio offerings, which I think we all agree are like a Temu version of Inside the NBA. Like they've been trying, like many, to capture the magic of Inside the NBA, and they've been doing it in a very janky way. And one wonders now, does this mean that Inside the NBA will completely take over? Is this a goodbye to Kendrick Perkins, to Malika Andrews, to Richard Jefferson and the rest? What will happen now? Open question.
I don't know what will happen now, but I do feel a little bit bad for them. I feel like if you get like, when I watch the show, there are definitely moments where I go like, I'm really enjoying this. This is really good. They like will grab a hold of like a running bit or some sort of analysis or, make a joke or do whatever. And you're like, this is fun to watch. And then now they have to see, well, here comes the greatest sports show of all time. And we have to compete with them. And that feels a little unfair to me. I feel like you give the NBA Countdown team more time, and we're looking at, if you look at the Inside the NBA, they've been together a quarter century.
Yeah.
Like that's chemistry developed over a quarter of a century.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Give the Countdown team some time.
Now, Countdown will still appear during the regular season. Important caveat. I would expect that Inside the NBA would take prominence in the postseason. But also NBA Countdown show, I do wonder. There's an everyday basketball show that airs at noon Pacific. Inside the NBA, not inside the NBA. What is it? The NBA Today. Sorry. They have the NBA Today, which airs, every day at midday. So that will continue, but it's really the games are the thing. And I'm personally like, we should be celebrating this. This is great. I think it's wonderful that we're not going to break it up. We're not going to see Chuck go to ESPN and Kenny the Jet go to NBC and somebody else go here and Ernie Johnson stay with TNT. Now we're going to keep the whole crew together and it's going to be great. All the shenanigans will continue. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good. This is all good news, but I feel a little bit bad. Well, you know what I mean?
In the sense that they just couldn't get it done and now they called in the big dogs and now the big dogs are here. I get it. I mean, I get it, but it's also like, listen, do I feel bad for all the sports podcasts who we have dominated and sent into extinction? Sometimes. But not often, not that much, not that much. Does your mom feel bad for all the other moms?
Next trophy, the chief. I just had to blow right past it. I didn't even let you. I don't know where that was going, but I know it's not going to be great for me and my beloved mother, Angela. If you're listening to this, Mom. Jason is going to prison for 25 years. I promise you that.
Damn.
I will get him in prison for this terrible behavior. Next trophy, the Chief Keef. That's that shit I don't like trophy, which is given out to a player or team who does something and we just don't like it. We don't like it. This week's winner, Jason Concepcion, for making fun of my mom all day. That's not the winner. The real winner, the NBA's last 2-minute report on Jason Tatum's game winner. Jason, do we like the last 2-minute report?
Nobody. Here's the thing about the last 2-minute report. Nobody. I don't think anybody likes it. So
not one person.
Jason Tatum hit a game winner over the Raptors, and the last 2-minute report comes out and said that Jason Tatum traveled. He slid his pivot foot.
Clearly,
when he hit the game winner with 3.4 seconds to give the Celtics the win over the Raptors in overtime. Similarly, Julius Randle hit a really fun game winner over the Suns. Last 2-minute report comes out. Guess what? Julius Randle traveled. Here's the thing. Who's happy? The team that won feels like their win has been discredited. The team that lost feels like, yeah, but we don't get the win. All you do is tell us you fucked up and it cost us a game and there's nothing we could do about it. And then the fans feel like, well, who does this help? And then the refs feel like they're being undermined. So I ask, why even do this? Like, what is the point? I don't understand why. Unless we're going to actually go back and fix the game, then I don't want to know.
No, just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
It doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't, as you're saying, make anybody feel better about anything. If it does anything, it makes it worse. It makes every single piece of a contested final play or last 2 minutes worse. Because then you're like, well, why do I? Don't tell me. If you're in a relationship and you cheated on me and you didn't get caught, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Why are you telling me? To make you feel better? I don't want to know.
And this isn't even like, this is just a regular season game. Why are we doing this? It's kind of like if in a time travel movie, the scientists are like, okay, that was it. That was the moment when the person who will destroy the world was born. Okay, let's go back in time and stop that forever. No, we can't. You just have to let it happen now. It's like, why discuss it if we can't fix it? I don't want to. One thing I want to go into the rest of 2025, 2024, and 2025 with is, if we can't fix it, just shut up. I don't want to hear about it.
Just shut up.
Just shut the fuck up. You guys fucked up. You missed the call. Just eat it. and move on. And that's it. We can't fix it. Let's just move the fuck on.
Jason, what's your favorite time travel movie?
Of all time?
Or rather, what movie do you think has handled time travel the best?
I've got too many. There's too many. I think that I'll give you my top 5.
25. Give me your top 25.
I'll give you top 5 time travel movies in no order.
Okay.
In no order.
Okay.
Looper.
Yeah, you didn't prepare for this. That's fine.
Looper.
I love Looper.
Terminator 1 and 2.
All right.
So that's 3. Avengers Endgame.
Oh, wow. The time heist.
Yeah. Back to the Future.
That's solid. Did you ever see the movie Primer?
Yes. I didn't.
Wildly complicated.
Too complicated.
Too complicated. I think that's a problem that a lot of the time travel movies run into is they try to explain too much stuff. They try to account for too much stuff. And you can't go that way. This is my long-standing argument is that the best any movie has ever handled time travel was Time Cop. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Time Cop. Because they only have 3 rules in there. The 3 rules are you can't travel into the future because the future hasn't happened yet. You can only go backwards. I think that's a great rule. Great. If you travel backwards, you can look at yourself. You can talk to you. You can even talk to yourself, but you can't touch yourself because the same matter can't occupy the same space at the same time. If you do touch yourself, your body just fucking explodes. It's crazy. That's how they kill the bad guy at the very end. And then the last rule is that the stuff you change in the past affects things in the present day. That's the only 3 rules that they have. And I simple and direct like that, I love it.
The thing I loved about Looper is that there's literally a scene in the movie where, old Bruce Willis and young Bruce Willis
In the diner.
Yeah, how does this work? And he's like, listen, if we start talking about how time travel works, we're going to be here for 3 hours with straw wrappings.
Making diagrams with straws.
Making diagrams and just forget about it. And that's the way I feel. And that was my issue with Primer, which I kind of liked. But it was wait a second. He's listening to cassette tapes that his future self made to tell him about a thing, and then he stop it. Stop it with the Primer.
It was too much. Next trophy, the Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense I See Dead People trophy. Give it out to whoever it is who had the best comeback of the week. This week's winner, Jason, they did it. The Portland Trailblazers. Oh my God. Chauncey Billups said, Hey, you bunch of fucking losers.
He literally said losers. That. He told all of that.
You're losers. And then they said, no more. We're going under. They've been undefeated since he yelled at them and called them all losers. Paraphrasing.
Here is Chauncey Billups' speech post the 45-point loss
45
to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Quote,
it was just fucking embarrassing, to be honest with you. We were soft as hell the whole game. Nobody really fought. It was just embarrassing for everybody. And guess what? Since then, 3-0. They're 6-8, which I think is almost too good for the Blazers, who need to be a little worse. But 4-4 at home, giving the home fans something nice. And okay.
They beat Minnesota twice. And that's a good basketball team.
I mean, and very troubling for Minnesota. Some of my Minnesota fans were extremely concerned about this. But shouts to them. Listen, the Blazers are a team that I think everybody ignores right now for various reasons. But shouts to them. They got healthy Robert Williams giving them some defensive heft. They've getting scoring from different places like Shaedon Sharpe getting 33 points, and the developmental process, Scoot Henderson, who I think the big problem with Scoot last season was that he couldn't convert at the rim. For a guy who was known for athleticism and burst, he'd burst, get to the rim, and then couldn't fucking finish. It's better now. So that's probably the most important development. Mm-hmm. But it's good to see 3-0, bounce back from a terrible win, and get these young guys playing well.
You want to do the little trophies?
Let's do them.
Let's do the little trophies. These ones change each week and are situation specific. And for the smaller storylines that we want to mention but don't need to get all the way into, my first little trophy, the Brick Tamlin and Anchorman. Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart trophy. To Ron Artest, who, per sports gambling experts, Bovada, is the odds-on favorite among NBA players to fight Jake Paul. If they were to arrange a boxing match between Jake Paul and an NBA player, Ron Artest is the leader. Remember the story that he told where he was explaining how he watched somebody get stabbed with the leg of a table at a basketball game in a fight?
Yeah, in New York City. Ron Artest is Meta World Peace is 45. Obviously, Jake just fought Mike Tyson, who is almost 60, 58 years old, and he looked like a 50-year-old man for his fight. I'll say this. Meta, can he adhere to the rules of the ring? Or if the fix is in, can he adhere to the rules of the fix? I would not trust it. I would not trust it. Now, he's not a trained boxer, but I'd worry that he'd just like grab me and snap my neck or something.
Yeah, fight Ron Artest at your own peril.
Yes, for real.
It's not a good idea. It is not a good idea.
My first little trophy is the Austin Powers International Man of Mystery. Who does number 2 work for trophy 2 to James Harden for moving into the number 2 spot ahead of Ray Allen behind Steph Curry in career made threes. Congratulations, James Harden. James was asked about it. You think you're going to catch Steph? And he was like, no. But number 2 is pretty great. That's historic, and shouts to James Harden.
He said, I don't count Steph, so I'm number 1. Yeah. Steph doesn't count.
I mean, honestly,
which I think that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's pretty true.
He's such a fucking outlier. Come on, we even count Steph. Obviously, Steph is number 1, but like for everybody else, I'm number 1.
I did not like James Harden passing Ray Allen. I didn't like it. For Ray, shouts to Ray in terms of the 3 was important, particularly in the later half of his career, the second half, but it wasn't as important as it is now. So for him to get that many up, pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. My next little trophy, the Michelle Pfeiffer and Batman Returns. Okay, go ahead, intimidate me, bully me if that makes you feel big. Trophy to Steph Curry,
that's crazy, who
was openly making fun of, mocking Jason Tatum's "We Did It" post-championship celebration, just full on laughing at it, recreating it, making fun of him for it. What a bully! What a bully Steph Curry is.
It seems the thing is about Steph is like the way he smiles when he does mean stuff. It makes it seem like it's so good natured, but really it is very
right. It's very mean.
He's a very mean.
It's very mean. And it sucks because he has 4 championship rings on his fingers. And he's the all-time greatest shooter in the history of the world. And he's making fun of you. That's tough.
For being corny.
For Jason Tatum. For being corny.
Which I think is blended. Jason Tatum's a corny individual. Fine. He's also a champion and a really good NBA player. Don't do this. My next little trophy is the Ripley and Aliens Get Away From Her, You Bitch! Trophy 2 to Joe Mazzulla for calling out former Celtics assistant and current Hornets head coach Charles Lee, saying that he was trying to throw him off his game by coming into the locker room and forcibly hugging him. I love that Joe is just, what a freak you are, Joe. You fucking maniac, you. And he was serious when he was talking about it. He was like, what?
Serious.
You're the enemy now. That's it. He's like, I told him when he left. That's it. You're the enemy. I'm not going to wave at you. I'm from across the court. I'm not going to say hi to you. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Don't expect that you're the enemy. And then Charles Lee comes in the locker room and forcibly hugs me to try to throw me off my game.
From the Kevin Garnett school of ex-teammates line of thinking. Remember when he was doing that to Ray Allen?
Yeah.
When Ray left for the Heat, he's like, fuck Ray Allen forever. Incredible. My last little trophy, the Anne Hathaway and the Devil Wears Prada. Are you wearing the Chanel boots? Yeah, I am. That goes to Anne Hathaway, who nearly got crashed into by OG Anunoby while she was attending the Knicks-Bulls game. And then afterwards, she was talking about it and said it was a bucket list moment, a thing I've always wanted to have happen to me while attending an NBA game. Great. I had no idea Anne Hathaway was such a big basketball fan.
I love
this
it.
makes me like her even more than I already did.
I will say that she is also a fan of the football, the English football, the European soccer team that I support, Arsenal. And then when she mentioned that she's a fan of our winger, Leo Trossard, he then went into a slump. So, Anne, be careful with the power that you have. My final little trophy is the Metallica and Bob Seger. Here I am on the road again.
Great
Here
song.
I am up on the stage. There I go, playing the star again. There I go, turn the page. Trophy 2
Yes.
to the Dallas Wings,
Oh, man. What luck.
who have won the number 1 pick in the upcoming WNBA draft, and that pick will surely be Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers out of UConn. Arika Ogunbowale posted, thank God, I just fell down on my knees. She needs the help. She's had some explosive scoring games last season to try and carry the Wings forward, and now it certainly appears that she will be getting that help from Paige Beckers out of UConn. You know, when I turn the page, you know, when I see a picture of your mom, Shay.
Oh, my God.
Tasteful picture. Beautiful picture.
You son of a bitch. Zuri, still no booze? Jesus Christ, Zuri.
Zuri just stunned into silence.
I don't know, man. These are such biting, jokes that I don't know where to go with it.
Terrible. You go to the boo button. There's a giant button on your computer that says boo. Just press that. Every time Jason talks, just press that. We did it again, Jason.
We did
Another
it again!
perfect episode.
No. Shay.
Nope. Wrong time.
on.
Wrong time, Zuri. We close. We closed every episode just by saying the names of underappreciated old basketball players with no context at all, while the theme music carries us out. Zuri, will you play the theme music, please? I'm Shea Serrano. That's Jason Concepcion. Producer Zuri in the shadows making the noises. See y'all next Wednesday. Jason, I'm doing all sprinters that I care about now because I watched the sprint show. All right. Gabby Thomas.
I'm not going to tell you the context. You're going to have to figure it out. And if you figure it out, Zuri will give you 100 crisp dollars in $20 bill increments. LeBron James.
Noah Lyles.
Ooh. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Ever heard of him?
Fred Curley. I love Fred Curley.
Tracy McGrady. T-Mac.
How about T.T. Terry?